Well, you guessed right. Those doggone batteries kicked the bucket on me again. So, what I was in the process of saying when all of a sudden I saw my light go on the camera is you can tell this is the genuine article because of these grommets. The same ones that you saw in the recent video where I sewed through. And again, I'm not looking to max out this 301A. It has the same power as the 201-2, and it has that direct drive feature just like the 201-2. So I'd be here all day long trying to push this machine to a point where it couldn't go any further. So let's go ahead and zip through 2 layers. I'm going to be real careful with these grommets so that they don't make contact with Kathy's beautiful machine here. And we'll go ahead and see if we can zip right down, just like kicking a field goal, right down through the middle of these 2 grommets. So here we go, 2 layers of genuine U.S. Army grade canvas. Here we go. Any of you that want to breathe now and say, oh gosh, I was hoping he wouldn't run into those things. I'm better than that. Alright, so let's get that back so we're ready for our next stitch off. There we go. Alright, so let's see how this 301A did on this U.S. Army grade canvas. You be the judge. Okay, I gotta say it. That is drop dead gorgeous stitching! Holy mackerel! The spacing, the formation, the integrity. I would take my featherweight, I would take my Princess of Singers that you saw in the opening shot of this video and put it up against this machine, and guess what? You wouldn't be able to tell the 2 apart because that is absolutely a drop dead gorgeous stitch. I'm going to bring my light down a little bit more so you can see it even more. Isn't that beautiful? Holy mackerel! And our lock and stitch looks just as gorgeous as that top stitch. And I'll put these out like I always do so I can zoom in at the end and you can look at them up close and personal. What a beautiful stitch. I don't know that we're going to be able to even come close to challenging this machine today. Honestly, I don't think we can. So what are we going to go on to next? Well, you know what? I love going on to leather with any of these machines. I could go through this 1 layer of vegetable tan leather. Look at it. That is the thick of thick. You can tell the integrity of that leather just by looking at it. I could go through 1 layer and say, you know what? Done. That's impressive. Let's go ahead and do 2 layers. And you look at it from the side, right there. That is about 8 to 10 ounces of vegetable tan leather. I've said it before. Vegetable tan leather is as hard to get through as full grain leather, and especially when you're putting 2 layers together. So let's see how this 301A does on a task that would put most machines into a repair shop. Get it in there. It's a little bit hard to get, not as far as space. There's a ton of space, but it kind of bites those feed dogs as it goes by, and you got to kind of wiggle it a little bit. Okay, 2 layers of vegetable tan leather. Here we go. Wow, that was tough. The only mistake I made, and you can't see it off camera, is I did not have that take-up arm in the highest position. When you're sewing heavy grade, you always want to have that take-up arm in the highest position. And once in a while, you'll forget. But you have the advantage of not being on camera when it happens. That was that slight little hesitation as it kicked in. Okay, what do you think? 2 layers of vegetable tan leather, that's our top stitch right there. If that isn't the picture of a perfect stitch, I don't know what a perfect stitch looks like. Look at that. I'm going to bring my light down so you can really see it. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And as we turn it over, that lock stitch, just like when you saw the 201 sew a similar material, just drives it in there, just punches it through that leather. I've got to pull it from a couple of different angles on the side so you can see the quality of that lock stitch. It's absolutely spot on, absolutely gorgeous. And that again is 2 layers of vegetable tan leather. That is crazy. All right, our final frontier for this 301 before I declare it passed and ready to be shipped is this cowhide leather. This stuff that I just did on the 201-2, this is the stuff they make saddles out of. So I'm going to go ahead and try to zip down this with a 301A. I have my take-up arm in the highest position. Let's see how it does with this stuff. Honestly, if you could feel this with your own hand, you'd be like, there's no way I'm going to try that on my 301-301A. You'd probably be right, because I've taken this one through special service, through special restoration, so it can handle this job not just once, but over and over and over and over and over again without any difficulty whatsoever. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and stitch off on this genuine cowhide, the stuff they make saddles out of and gun holsters. We'll see how she does. Here we go. You know what? Admit it, I've been so good in recent videos, and there I just had to give it a little bit of gas. Just a little bit. That was probably a little bit beyond halfway down in the foot control. Yeah, honestly, halfway down. So you be the judge. If I went gonkers on this, you can only imagine how fast we would have zipped down that. Okay, show us the stitch, Scott. There we go. Look at that. That is the picture of a perfect stitch in every respect. The spacing, the integrity of the stitch, just everything about it. It's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Turn it like that as well. Show us a lock stitch, Scott, because that's what you say really determines. Look at that. Everything about that lock stitch is absolutely spot on. Absolutely picture perfect in every respect. And I'll line this up afterwards as well. That's not a problem. All right. So, you know what? This gets my stamp of approval. And I wanted to do a couple of special things for Kathy, since this is a retirement gift for her. I'm going to be including this slant needle walking foot, originally put out by Singer. I'm also going to be including some other feet as well with it, just as a special congratulations for her retirement, and some bobbins, extra bobbins as well. So what I want to read to you real quick, and hopefully I don't run out of either battery power or juice. Actually, I'll zoom out so I can do that, because I've been tight on the needle for quite a while. Come on. All right, hopefully that's about the right distance, I'm hoping. There I am. Okay, again, congratulations, Kathy, on your retirement. That's awesome. I'm close to that, real close. And some of you might say, you look too young to retire. Well, age sometimes can be masked a little bit. And I don't do any editing of the videos. What you see is what you see. But I've lived a pretty good life, so that probably helps a little bit too. But this is the owner's manual for this 301A. These are 2 pages, I should say, of the owner's manual. So I'm going to read what they've written in it. I think it's kind of fun. And also I'm going to throw an impromptu contest at you, as I did with Lisa Dawn's 201-2, and ask you to post on the Facebook business page underneath this video, actually underneath either of the videos, since the batteries ran out, and there's going to be 2 videos for Kathy's machine. So if you're only seeing this one and you haven't seen the first video, go back, because that was video 1, this is video 2 for Kathy's 301A. But I'm going to throw an impromptu contest at you. How many pages are in the original 301A instruction manual? How many pages? You see 2 of them here. There's a lot more than that. And here's what they wrote about this cool machine back in the day when these first rolled out. Depending on which source you go to and depending on your research, my research tells me that they only produced these machines, this 301A and a couple of other models, for a period of 3 years. And they weren't consecutive years. Each of those 3 production years, they made about 1 million machines, not just the 301A, but the 401 and a variety of others, depending again on what sources you trust as being historically accurate. But they wrote this about Cathy's machine. You have a machine revolutionary in design, but with the same care and craftsmanship that have been the hallmark of Singer machines for more than a century. We are acutely aware that Singer sewing machines have become an American tradition and are intensely proud of and determined to continue that heritage. I'm sure that was true when they wrote this back in the 1950s. Sadly, they did not continue that heritage. As I've said before, and I highlighted in another video comparing a contemporary Singer to a vintage Singer like this, they broke ties with that. It's sad. And I don't want to get preachy about it, but any of you that are devoted followers of vintage sewing machines, you're already saying a silent or maybe a loud amen, Scott. They are not following that determination of continuing the tradition and the heritage of Singer sewing machines anymore, sadly. So thankfully Cathy is getting the genuine article, and you've seen what it can do. So, you know, when it comes to quality, the proof's in the pudding. You can't put a contemporary machine through the run and the race of what we just did with this 301A and get the same outcome. It's not going to happen. And if you get lucky with a contemporary machine and you can do it once, I wouldn't do it a second or third time. You know, as I ran that other 4011, I think it was, the Singer 4011 against the Singer 66, the hand crank one. You remember that video? That thing was already, after a few sew-offs of trying to put it head-to-head with my vintage 66, it was already showing strain and, oh, no more, no more, no more. It's like if you haven't worked out for a long time and all of a sudden you hit the gym hard, the next day you know it. Your body just says, it's not, I'm not ready for that. It's the same thing with a vintage machine where you can do this not once or twice. You can do it for years. You can do what you just saw on camera again and again and again and again and again. And it's not going to be sore the next day. If you did that to a contemporary Singer that you buy off the shelf at a local retailer, you're going to be feeling the pain. The machine can't articulate it to you other than through grunts and strains and pauses and scraping and grinding and maybe eventually smoke. But a vintage machine is engineered and designed when it's been properly restored to do this for years. And I've gotten challengers that have posted things, they've sent me nasty notes, and they'll say something like, okay, yeah, you got it through, you did it once. You can't do that again. I can do it as many times as I want. And when Cathy gets this machine, and when Lisa Dawn gets her 201-2 today, they can sew at a level that would blow your mind, or I should say blow the mind of contemporary machine owners as many times as they want into the future, because that machine has been prepared and engineered to do that. So, all right, I'm off my pedestal. Back to the most important thing, and that is, Cathy, congratulations. I'm going to get this packed up, if possible today, and get it heading to you out in Arizona. So thank you so much, Cathy, for the opportunity of providing this incredible 301A to you. Thank you to all of you subscribers who make this channel possible. So the next machine coming up is going to be a machine that you've seen on this workbench before, not the specific machine, the model and the make. It's going to be a Singer 1591 that is going to be heading eventually towards Texas. So I'll talk more about that in the next video that comes up on this channel. All right? Thanks so much. Have a great day, and thanks for being so loyal to this channel.